Hey.
Welcome to Sips and Spirits, a podcast for lovers of both alcoholic and spectral spirits. I am your co-host, Chelsea.
I'm her co-host, Eric. I don't like you say co-host. You say host, and then I can say co-host. It sounds weird to me when you say co-host first.
So, but then, like...
A little disclaimer before we get started.
Well, so if I introduce myself as a hostess, would you still be fine with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Like, okay.
This is the face of Sips and Spirits.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
I'm the muscles of Sips and Spirits. That's the way to do it.
And I'm the beauty.
There we go. Beauty and bronze.
Beauty and the bronze.
There we go. Hi, guys. Welcome. This is not our first episode.
Now that we've completely derailed, jumping into disclaimers now.
Yes. Little disclaimer before we get started. Facts and stories presented from various sources. We make no claims these tales are true. We just want it to be spooky and interesting. But in this episode, we have no tales.
Yeah. Well,
we might have tales.
We have some yarns to spin, but it's a little different from our usual.
Yes.
This is one of the coveted mocktail episodes.
Doo-doo-doo.
So, cocktails and spirits are tasted for the first time during episode recording unless noted otherwise. So we made a special mocktail, which if you're not familiar with the term, it's a non-alcoholic cocktail for this episode, which we obviously had to taste test to make sure it actually tasted good, because at least for us here at Sips and Spirits, we believe in making sure the cocktail is enjoyable instead of just randomly throwing things together that sound like they should go together.
Sips and Spirits industry.
So that's it for my disclaimer, which means we necessarily don't need our last disclaimer, but we're going to throw it in there anyways.
Yes. If you've been listening along with us or it's your first time listening and you decide to go listen to our other episodes, we might remind you that we want to remind you that it's fine to enjoy spirits, but we don't let them possess you. We may be a drinking podcast, but we strongly encourage you to drink responsibly. As much as we enjoy you and love you enjoying our cocktails, there's never need or pressure to consume them. And I think we do make a lot of mocktails, so this is one of them. Our cryptid episodes do have mocktails to them. Mm-hmm. You can make those yourself if you don't drink alcohol, but drink responsibly.
Yeah. I mean, your choice of the spirits for why you're here is up to you, whether they're spectral or alcoholic.
Exactly.
This is just one of those rare episodes where the drink itself is non-alcoholic. So
all kids are welcome.
Yeah, they're kid-friendly spirits in this episode.
They're kid-approved.
Yeah, oh my gosh, our kids totally drank this one up. So let's jump into our cocktail.
What are we drinking?
We are summoning a Code Orange to the table.
Code Orange. As Halloween starts to happen, when you listen to this episode, would be the first week of September. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. So Halloween has been busting out everywhere. Certain stores more than others. Kind of thing. So if you haven't spotted any Code Oranges yet, maybe you spot it here.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the term, I was going to introduce that a little later as we jump into our discussion.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. But just because we're throwing the term around already, Code Orange means that you're spotting Halloween in your retail stores. So,
But teacher Chelsea.
Yes, pupil Eric.
Pupil. Halloween's not all orange.
Yes, but the classic colors are orange and black.
Okay.
So, and you don't want to say code black because that usually means death in a lot of things. So
anyway,
you don't want to freak people out. I see a code black when you see a dead person in the store.
Speaking of which, anyway, let's retest this cocktail.
And cheers to that.
And we're not cheering.
What?
You can't cheers to alcoholic drinks. It's bad luck.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to toast water. You should have something in your glass, but it shouldn't be water.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
Cheers.
Cheers. That was a nice one. I love this. It's so light and fresh. Perfect for enjoying after a Halloween hunting session.
Exactly. So what are we drinking?
All right.
What's in this cocktail? I can't put my hand in it.
So in this cocktail, we have 4 ounces of Minute Maid Berry Punch, which is this combination of grape juice and strawberries and pears, it looks like, just based off the box. It's from Minute Maid. But if you are feeling daring, you could probably figure out how to make your own fruit juice to accompany this. We also threw in a 1/2 ounce of candy corn simple syrup, 3/4 ounce of lemon, and shook it together. Then topped it with some elderflower lemonade. You guys know how much we love that elderflower lemonade. It just was the missing thing we needed to totally refine this.
Mm-hmm.
Without the elderflower, it's not too bad. It's a little more on the sweeter side. And as we said, it feels like something's lacking before we added that little sparkling lemonade. And it adds that really refreshing note to this drink.
Indeed it does. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a perfect build in your glass drink. You can build it in your glass. You can use a cocktail shaker. If you don't have the shaker, just make sure you're stirring pretty generously before you serve it, just to kind of really ensure those ingredients are all meshed together. But yeah, it's a nice, easy cocktail that I'm excited to enjoy with the kids and whatnot.
Yes. And where can you find this recipe?
You can always find all our recipes on our website, sipsandspirits.com. We have a page or a tab called recipes. You just click on that and you'll be able to find it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we even have a under tab specifically for mocktails because we have about 4 non-alcoholic cocktails at this point, so it gets its own section.
Mine is crypto ones.
Right.
So outside the crypto ones for non-alcoholics.
Yes.
There. Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. We've done quite a few cryptids.
Well, I was meaning someday we'll actually get the non-alcoholic cryptids, their own page as well. But for all our cocktails, if you're ever looking for the non-alcoholic version, you just click and keep scrolling down to the bottom. We actually have a section that's talking about our Sips and Spirits promise that we do try to make a cocktail that is non-alcoholic for those who can't or choose not to imbibe.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. So, you ready for Would You Rather?
I am.
I've been mulling this one over for a while, and I'm very curious of what you would do. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's build a scene.
Oh, man, I hate when you do this.
Okay.
It's so hard to write out.
So, an empty house. Like it's furniture and everything, whatever. A regular house. Not necessarily this house. Not necessarily any house that you've been living in. Just a house that is normal furnished.
Mm-hmm.
Not by normal Chelsea standards, but just...
No, so you've got your furnishings.
You got furnishing. Okay?
I got it.
So, would you rather have an unlimited budget to only decorate one room? And that's the only room in the house you can decorate. But you can pretty much create pretty much a whole new world in there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather have a small budget, let's say $20 per room, to decorate the house? We can only use $20 on that room specifically, and the next one you can like say, okay, I'm gonna use 10 here and then I'll add 30 over here, and it's 20 for just that room.
Only 20.
Or like a small budget kind of thing.
Well, yeah, what's a small budget? I'm like,
$20, sure.
$20 is not going to get you very far.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess if you're shopping at Dollar Tree, you can get pretty creative. That's a tough one. I feel like it depends on like how artsy-fartsy I'm feeling on making something happen. Because honestly, Dollar Tree can make quite a bit happen and look really reasonable too. So then here's a follow-up question for me.
Okay.
Can you use crafting materials you already have?
No.
Like paint?
Nope.
No?
Everything's new.
Then that would make it hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because essentially what you're saying,
So
with your conditions, I'd have to buy a set of paints for every room.
So what it continues is either, your pretty much the idea is either decorate one room fully as much as you want.
I mean, if that's the case, then the decision's easy.
Or-
It's the unlimited budget for one room.
But that's the only room you can do. You can't decorate outside, nothing else, just one room.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Versus the idea.
Unlimited budget, one room versus like $20. Because
like-
you say small
A small budget of $20.
But what is small budget? 'Cause-
Well, small budget to you and small budget to me can be different.
right, exactly.
Yeah. So the idea that
Like to me, $20 is a small budget.
the idea is pretty much that you get like little knickknacks here and there to just put around the house versus like having to actually decorate.
But I like decorating.
I know.
So I would love an unlimited budget to like just do one room. And then every year would just pick a different room.
No, you get one room without that. You don't
I
get
know,
that.
you're just saying for 1 year.
So one lifetime.
But I think that's because that's essentially what I've been we've been decorating one space the last couple of years. So I like having the unlimited budget to add to it.
So then why do you have to decorate the rest of the house? Just decorate one room here. And that way, kind of thing.
You said this was a hypothetical,
It was
not
a
in real life.
But you bring your hypotheticals to real life. But okay, I'll take that.
Well, you seem disappointed.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
Because, like, I can't go to Spirit Halloween and decorate a whole room with $20.
Well, and the idea of the spraying that out is not you get to decorate a room. It's just you get to add Halloween accents to the house. You don't decorate because you don't have the budget for it, but you can add a little bit here and there throughout it.
I feel like this is a challenge accepted. I could decorate. You're like, let me count. How many rooms is that times 20?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I would count the yard too. That's technically
5.
a space.
I'll give you 6. So I'll give you 6 rooms.
So $120.
You're $120. That's your year probably then. Let's see what Chelsea does with that.
That would actually be a really fun challenge.
It would be a fun challenge, I think. I wasn't. Well, I understand the limit of or limitlessness of having a limited budget for one room. Knowing you.
Unlimited budget means I could go and shop at like Dream Store, Grandin Road.
You can shop anywhere and make one room.
And I could turn like one indoor room into a forest.
Pretty much, yes.
And look awesome.
That is pretty much the idea.
Which is why I would go with that.
I also know that you like to spread out your decorations all through the house when you have the space for it.
So my thinking is when I decorate is I'm trying to think of if I were to host people over or have a party, I want any space they're going to be in to be decorated. Like the kids' rooms don't need to be decorated. Our bedroom doesn't need to be decorated. Like upstairs, all I want to do is put a little mylar curtain to keep people from going upstairs.
So then with that same aspect of if you have one room, the rest of the house not decorated for Halloween, and you have people over.
Well, like that's my whole idea this year for like the library dining room because that is one room technically.
2.
Technically it's 2 rooms,
yes.
But visually it's one room because there is no like real divider other than the step, right? So my idea is this vintage Halloween party that carries on into the dining room where all the food and snacks are, right? So if I were inviting people over, yeah, that's probably where they'd hang out. Right? And I wouldn't even bother decorating this space.
So back to would you rather, if you invite people over, are you wanting to have a small budget to sprinkle things out everywhere?
No, one room,
so
unlimited
one room?
budget. Yeah.
So the rest of the house is boring.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense to me.
No,
I think it'd be fun, like even if the front's not decorated, like people come in and then like, wow.
And then they leave the room, it's like, oh wait, the rest of the house is boring.
Yeah.
you tricked us. But anyway, fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What about you?
What about me? I'm gonna save that money and go eat out to eat. Because no.
Try all the different Halloween menu items.
No, not even that. Because like most of them are like super sugary.
It has to have some sort of Halloween response.
Also this one, and then I'm gonna spend my money to buy a Halloween themed liquor.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think I already have 2. But anyway, this is a non-liquor episode, guys. Look at that, you tricked me. Kind of thing. But anyway, so what are we talking about this episode?
All right, so we are discussing kind of that whole idea of Code Orange, as we talked about earlier, but also the whole idea of, I guess, I'm not really sure, like the zaniness and zaniness the bit of out of control consumerism has gotten, I guess. Now, how would you word this exactly? We're gonna talk a little bit about consumerism and Halloween. And how it's like great that it is a thing, but there's a little bit of minuses to it. But we're not going to focus too much on that. in this episode. Instead, we're going to discuss things that you can do without focusing on the consumerism aspect.
Before we get started, we have to clarify that being alive is expensive. So while these things, it might sound like we're saying they might be free, that there's no real free aspects to things. It's just more budgeted kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how to word that better.
and as we get to it, we'll probably bring that up a few times kind of thing and whatnot. But yeah.
It's just, we're going to be throwing out different things based off of a variety of budget types.
Yeah.
So our whole goal for this episode is to not focus on you feeling like you need to be buying Halloween things constantly and going out and shopping and doing the hunting to feel like you're part of the community. Because I feel like there's a big push of that. If you love doing that, by all means, go for it.
Go for it. If
but
you have the budget for it,
I do see many people
go for it.
Who feel overwhelmed and kind of down because they go out and they look at all this stuff that is there's no way they could amass all of it based off of their...
Here's a first one, a great thing to talk about first. You're going to go online, you're going to see all your friends from all over the world, and they all go to the same shops you do. And
not all over the world.
Well, not all over the world, but they go to shops, not all over the United States. Halloween only happens here. Let's be real.
No,
I'm kidding.
That's not true.
That's not true. No, I'm just no. So
I was just more like they're not all going to the same stores.
No, but like okay, let's say for example Target. There's Target in Mexico too. God dang, there is. But so they all go to Target, for example, and then they go, oh, Code Orange, look at all the fun stuff I've seen at Target. And you're like, I've seen those online, but I want to see them in person. And you don't get to see them.
Right.
We experienced that last year back at our place.
I feel like the last couple years.
The town that we used to live at, their Targets, the tri-towns, the Targets were not really fully stocked in all the Halloween stuff. Kind of thing. And we went literally like 2 hours away to my mom's. It's like, what a minute, there's like so much more stuff here.
Right.
Kind of thing. So, and we travel in that aspect a lot. So we do go to different, same stores at different locations.
Yeah.
So we want to get to the idea that, well, yeah, it's fun to go look around for stuff. And it's great to that, push away from the idea that if you're feeling stressed or feeling upset or feeling like you're missing out because your stores don't have it and you don't have the ability to travel to those places, then what other things can you do?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to talk about this episode.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
There we go. We had to snowball into
it. Kind of thing. Lots of ideas going on. So our first topic is feelings and consumerism and Halloween celebrations. Ladies first.
Well, I mean, I feel like kind of approached that a bit.
Yeah.
That's where I was kind of trying to formulate my thoughts.
So,
I love going out and seeing stuff. It gets me really excited. But I also am that person, after 20 times going into Home Goods, I'm like, I do not want to go into another Home Goods. Unless it's like what Eric mentioned, where I saw someone find something online or share something online. I'm like, oh, I would really love to have that. So then I'm looking for that specifically. I've been more in a mode of trying to focus more on building traditions and stuff with the kids that we can kind of revisit and do every year as my way of approaching Halloween, instead of getting so caught up on let's see how many Halloween decorations we can buy and this and that. And I know I'm going to make myself out to be a oxymoron?
Hypocrite?
A hypocrite. There we go. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Because now we actually have a yard to decorate and more spaces to decorate. And I'm feeling that I want to decorate everything. So
the last couple of years, we have not had our own space to decorate and whatnot. So when the 12 Skeleton came out, we were like, we should get one, but where do we put it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
We didn't even have stuff to keep it in, or space to keep it in storage until we had a space to use it.
Yeah, kind of thing. So we're like, okay, in that situation. And then when they came back the year after, we're like, we can buy one, but still.
Same situation.
Like we're still in the space where it's not really a place to do it kind of thing and whatnot. And with the kids being there, it was like, okay. And so we were feeling a little it's great that, her mom had one, so we got to play with it with that kind of thing.
We're now 12-foot skeleton building experts.
We've done it like 4 times now, kind of thing. Put them on and take them off. But so those couple of years, we were like, we were feeling like the sense of like, are missing out because all those people are like getting 12 skeleton. They're decorating for Halloween. They're decorating for Christmas. It looks really fun, kind of thing. Our son loves the skeleton.
Yeah.
So once we put it up, it's gonna be hard to take it down. But then this year came around. We have this new space. We have a yard now, our own yard, and we're like, let's order one. And yes, we started to talk about don't buy things, but we bought one, kind of thing and whatnot. So we will to do that. So if you have,
we're not saying don't buy things.
We're
just saying like you don't have to feel like you can't celebrate Halloween if you're not buying stuff.
If you're not buying like the trend stuff, kind of thing, and whatnot. And and the Tofos kind of this year or last year's kind of thing. It's been the trend for now. Now everybody has a 12-foot something,
right?
Kind of thing, like,
or 13,
or 10, or bigger or not, kind of thing. So and back to the idea of like looking for stuff. So I think decorations are neat. They're not my necessity. They're not my want. What I want is consumables, things that I can do. So one thing I look for is the Halloween Mountain Dew that comes out, the voodoo kind of thing, or any other food that comes during Halloween. And when I go to restaurants or try to go to like places to look for them, and I don't find them, then I'm like, well, where is people getting this stuff, kind of thing? Where are they coming out, kind of thing? So
things to buy versus
things to make. What route do you take? Do you go to the big box stores and just buy things, or do you make your own things, kind of thing? I am handy with my hands when it comes to woodwork. I can't paint for my life depending on it. I can't draw for my life depending on it. I can draw a little bit, I guess, kind of thing. So when it comes to more creative things like that, Chelsea's the one.
Yes. Sorry, I heard it.
Weird
noise. But yeah, so on that note, just letting you guys know that what we're suggesting are just the following is ideas that you can use to change up your Halloween celebrations if you're looking for something to do outside of the shopping. And I've actually, the last few years, have been making a lot of things. I've been taking the vintage Halloween route, doing a lot of things with crepe paper. And I
love last year where you had the pumpkins and the streamers going through them. That was very cool.
Crepe paper and tissue paper, doing a lot of things that way. It's been really fun and really cheap to do because you can get practically everything from the Dollar Tree. So $1.25 for a giant roll of streamers is pretty awesome.
So and like that's the thing, like you can grab something as simple as streamers and be like, at itself it'd be like, okay, can't burn. But what she did is grab 2 colors, black and orange. You guys can see it, and pretty much twisted them together.
And there's lots of tutorials. Just like you don't even have to look up Halloween tutorials. Just like party streamer tutorials on how to create these different kinds of designs, and you get a lot. Like I learned how to do like this box fold that was really cool. And then you kind of take a little bit more ownership in it too, because it's like, I made that.
Yeah, kind of thing. So if you make things, if you're able to make things, you have the space to do so, kind of thing, or creative kind of thing. Even like, don't have to be as crazy as like streamer. Well, I don't think that's so crazy, but as like making look like an elaborate party kind of thing.
Well, and that's what I love about those is,
you
don't have to have like these crazy good painting skills or anything like that.
You most of us buy from Amazon. We get a box from Amazon. Open the box up, draw a little ghost, cut it out. You have a ghost decoration.
Yeah.
Simple kind of thing, And again, we're not trying to tell you don't buy from the big box stores. Don't buy, stuff if you have the budget.
Because we do it too. So we're going to be the first to be like.
It is so hard. It has been so hard to tell our children we can't buy this yet because we want to buy it too. But we're trying to like limit ourselves or limit them from being like, we're not going every time we go out, we don't buy something. Yeah, we're
not every time we go to a Halloween store buying something because we would definitely be broke.
More than we are already.
We're going into Halloween stores quite a bit.
Yeah, kind of thing. But it's like if you're looking for other ways to go about it, kind of thing, making something, there's a lot of people out there There's a lot of people out there who do amazing work
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, but there's also people out there who just do something basic,
Right.
you know, and they make it like Chelsea was saying. I almost called you Elsa, like Chelsea was saying.
Into the unknown.
It gives you that ownership of like, I made this. This is mine, kind of thing. This is technically unique,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Even if you copy someone's design or copy someone's idea, it's still unique to you,
Right.
kind of thing.
Because you are more than likely going to shift it around to what
Yeah.
you want it to do.
Kind of thing.
I mean, my son's been on this whole kick of watching our son, these YouTube videos of people building Halloween props. And somehow we got onto videos of people making their own giant spiders. And it was like the same materials, but they were still producing different spiders completely. So even if you're following someone's tutorial, it's going to end up being something that's yours,
Yeah.
your creation. So
Exactly.
I love that aspect. And it's been really fun to do as someone who's actually put that into practice.
But yeah, no. So if you don't get a chance to shop around, think the idea of making stuff,
Mhm.
kind of thing. You know, make cocktails. You have ingredients at home. Check it out.
There you
Kind
go.
of thing. That's like the spice of your stuff, kind of thing.
Yeah, we have a whole repertoire of cocktails that are perfect for your Halloween menu.
Yeah, kind of thing. And whatnot.
Little shameless plug there.
I know, right?
And then like jumping back to our tradition practices, one thing we love to do is go to the corn maze or the pumpkin patch. And depending on your area, that can be rather inexpensive. There's even like the pop-up pumpkin patches that show up in parking lots. You don't have to pay to go into those.
Some of them, most of them.
Most of them, the pop-up ones.
Yes.
Not like the farm ones.
Oh, well,
Usually
I-
a lot of the farm ones have an entrance fee.
There are some that are pop-ups.
Uh-huh.
They do have entrance fee. It's unfortunate.
I've never been to any of those. I'm just thinking about the ones you randomly see in your Home Depot.
So yeah,
I mean, you could even go to your local hardware store. They usually have pumpkin patches set up.
they do.
So, little cheap trick there.
Yeah, no, because I used to look for field trips for the I used to look for field trips for the season, and some of the local pumpkin patch you have to pay to go into the location, even though they're pop-ups and like half of
Now,
it is
because
like,
it was a field trip, was that fee to cover the cost of the pumpkins, the classes? would
well, no,
operate
it's like
with?
they tell like you can't come in without having to do that. Versus like some of them you can just go in without having to pay for anything, and then the pumpkins are separate, kind of thing. So like, but yeah, so now this is pre-COVID. We used to have hundreds, if not more, pop-ups all over the place, at least in this area. And last year I felt there wasn't that many, kind of thing. But again, that's things.
We weren't living out here either.
Never
though.
running out here, so we didn't get a chance to really explore. I think so. I feel that hopefully this year's a little more. But they're fun. At least in our area, they have a pumpkin patch. They have a little hay area, and then they have inflatable slides, kind of thing. And those are always fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if the fairgrounds gonna have anything,
They might.
kind of thing. That's another option. I think your local fairgrounds. There might be admissions to go inside. Some of them don't have admission, or they only have ticket prices for event things.
Also, schools and libraries tend to host harvest festivals or Halloween festivals. They do both.
Yeah, make sure they're hosting the festival. Don't just like walk in and the random school be like, "Hey, they're decorating for Halloween. Let me go check it out." No, don't do that kind of thing. Excuse me.
And then of course your like local haunts. So, for example, no surprise, Chelsea's gonna bring up the Winchester Mystery House.
Really? Oh my goodness. Where's that at?
They are doing a haunt this year. So they did a haunt right before COVID, and then the last 2 years they've done a haunt. So you should look around, check your places. I've been seeing those haunted car washes pop up a lot. We saw one pop up even in Manteca last year, which was really crazy. We didn't make it to it, but those are always options, like easy to attend attractions.
Yeah, and most
Yeah.
most places will have something, if not something close by at the neighboring locations. Check those out. Some of them will be ticket price. So again, we started saying that.
Check your Tri-City area, your little triangle.
Yeah, like I said when we said it originally, there's gonna be some costs involved. So either driving there or ticket admissions whatever to make these things run.
Parking fee.
Parking fee, kind of thing. Like I was saying, things will cost money. The travel costs, admission cost.
This is a given.
Kind of thing.
These are all just suggestions.
Suggestions.
And I feel like we've iterated that enough.
Well, yes. But, check out what your local attractions are, kind of thing, What do you have close by that you have, Maybe there's a neighbor who has a really cool Halloween decoration, like house.
Yeah, walk through your neighborhood.
Go through your neighborhood.
Just like you would for Christmas lights.
Once
Do
again,
it for your...
don't just walk into people's yards. When you're just saying go, like, take pictures of people's, like, in front of people's houses and stuff, because they have decorations there, ask for permission, kind of thing. But, like, check it out, kind of thing.
You never know what's hiding in your own neighborhood.
You never know what's hiding in your own neighborhood. And with that, you also don't know what's hiding in your own town.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Historic landmarks are a great place to start.
I grew up in the Santa Cruz area. And I lived there for a while. And I did a lot of bro stuff. Like jock stuff. I moved to San Jose when I was in college. And I lived there for quite a bit of time. And I did stuff, but like when it comes to Halloween, I didn't do much. I went to Winchester once, and I thought it was gimmicky, kind of thing. Before I went there, I thought it was gimmicky.
You can still think it's gimmicky now. I won't take offense.
Now that I've been to it a few times, and just has gone through it more times, like, wow, we have this really cool historical landmark.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And so that's what I mean by something hidden in your own local town. Towns have history. Most of them are more than a year old.
Mm-hmm.
Unless talking to like Mountain Valley. They just like popped up last year too. Kind of thing. But most of them are over some time. So they have historical landmarks, they have historical things, and some of them have a spooky Halloween aspect to it.
Right.
Kind of thing.
To kind of help support them.
Yeah.
So the great thing about going to these and paying your ticket price or whatever is that money is going towards maintaining those graves or maintaining the property. So it's a great way to help it.
We all don't live in Savannah, Georgia, where it's like super haunted and all that super attractions, but we have something close by.
Right.
We have the Winchester Mystery House here. Over the hill, we have the Mystery Spot in that Santa Cruz area.
Does it Hearst Mansion have some? You okay there?
I'm hearing like crickling noises. So it's weird. Hearst Mansion? Oh, no, I've never been.
Has some, or Castle?
Yeah, Hearst Castle, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that has some
They
of those
might.
stories attached to it. Santa Cruz itself is very haunted.
Doo-doo-doo, kind of thing,
Supposedly.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you can ask around. And
But yeah, so cemetery walks, graveyard tours, landmarks with haunts, even doing library searches.
yeah, talk to people, okay? I know it can be scary sometimes.
This is a lot to ask of you all listening.
But this is why we started this podcast in the first place.
Uh-huh.
If you bring up the topic, you have one to people who are like, "Ooh, no," like never talk about it, or you have to say you have to say the key phrase. It's like playing a video game. You have to say the right thing at the right time, and then they give you this whole story, kind of thing. But like I work with people who are like straight faced, boring, and all of a sudden I go, "Hey, spooky stuff," and they're like, "Let me tell you." Sit down, pull up a chair, kind of thing. So and it's like you never know, converse with people that maybe your own family members, talk to them and see what they believe and whatnot. To try to see what have any stories they grew up with. We grew up. I grew up with the sort of the Llorona kind of thing.
Right.
It wasn't so my mom told me a story, but one of our neighbor parents told us, and then we used to sit around with kids, kind of thing. And those are always fun things to do.
Right. Which brings us to our next point of things you can do at home.
At home.
If you are an introvert or an extrovert who's broke, like us.
Or all our friends live across the country.
Yeah. You can host party games with your kids. You can do fortune telling games. Go very classic old school, like bobbing for apples was actually a fortune telling game. I think there's even one with like pumpkin seeds. I know there's one with apple seeds. And, looking up those old fun vintage activities. But then also telling ghost stories. if you have a fireplace or a fire pit,
Listen to Sips of Spirits.
watching your favorite Halloween movies is
No.
always fun.
I don't know if they still do anymore. Chelsea and I were talking about it because we watched a movie recently about it. But brands, and there used to be websites to pop up on their Halloween time. I know Doritos had one once upon a time. I think Pepsi did too, where it was like a horror experience. You go in and you go through this puzzle, you do certain things, and it's like a horror game. You know,
With a lot of jump scares,
it's a lot
right?
of jump scares, lots and lots of jump scares, kind of thing. But I know there's a lot of D&D you can do online now. Some of them you pay for, some of them are free. I'm pretty sure there's a Halloween campaign you can play through, kind of thing. If that's what you want to do, kind of thing. You and your friends all over the world can come together and do that. And whatnot. But yeah, no, definitely. If you have board games, if you have, movies that you watch that you enjoy, I know I grew up watching more of the 80s slasher movies.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up watching it's a stretch. I knew about them.
Yeah, I was like, because there's been a lot. He finally watched Nightmare on Elm Street, guys.
And I'm like, if I watched it back then, maybe I would have been scared.
He was like, what was the hype
Yeah.
all about?
Kind of thing.
And I think that's the case for a lot of these older movies. We were watching them through adult eyes, or you never got to watch them before.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Child's Play when I was a kid or younger, and I was like, I still don't get I didn't get the fear then, and I don't get the fear now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, here. But yeah, but there's movies that I've watched growing up. That are scary movies that she's never watched before, and then similar, there's a lot of movies she's watched, never watched before, and there's movies that we both watched, and we're like, hey, here's a movie, like, yeah, I love it too. 13 Ghosts, one of them. We both watched it without each other. We both enjoy it.
Yeah.
And every time it plays, it's got a fun time, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
now I have to make him watch the original 13 Ghosts.
Make me. Oh my god, that'd be such a hard thing to do. But it's
you
like
really twist your
you can talk to you're gonna have friends who be like, oh, I don't want to watch it, kind of thing. But you're gonna have other friends who be like, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'm curious, kind of thing. So that's something you guys can do together, kind of thing.
If you're looking for fun like slumber party games, definitely check out Ghouls Night In podcast. They had a fun episode all about those old school, like light as a feather, stiff as a board, Bloody
Never
Mary.
played that.
I played that one, but not Bloody Mary.
I can't remember what it was, but I feel like I had a Bloody Mary
experience.
Not experience, but a game. Okay, a game we played as kids. There was Bloody Mary Mexico. I just don't remember what it was called. Kind of thing. I have to look it up, the translations and whatnot, because I remember doing it. Now.
Bloody Mary Mexico.
Now, when Candyman came out,
I
also did that in a dark room, kind of thing, and I was like, that was a dumb idea. But anyway, I feel like there was there's something like that, like similar to Bloody Mary.
I think there is there's something like that all across.
Yeah.
The world,
kind of thing,
not necessarily by the moniker of Bloody Mary, but similar concept, which begs the question. But then if you're looking even for fun game suggestions, honestly, I know all of our friends, when they've gotten together, because they're all in the Midwest, so it's much easier for them, they've been doing game nights. So checking out Your Best Halloween Ever and Spooky Little Halloween, they've been sharing the games that they've been playing. I believe Your Best Halloween Ever is even going to be featuring some of the games for their countdown this year.
Ooh,
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they said that's one of the things they might be doing.
Yeah, and
but even if they're not, it's on their feed, so check it out.
Check your local stores. I know at least throughout the summer, Target has sales on board games. Kind of thing. It was something you've been looking at eye for, kind of thing, and whatnot. But again, if you're into D&D, you can make your own kind of thing. If you're a storyteller, make that happen.
Halloween
camping, and whatnot. But yeah, you can do that kind of stuff.
Building a fort. That's another one at home. That one brings back memories for me.
How's that Halloweeny though?
Well, okay, it's not. You can make it Halloweeny is what I'm saying.
Got it.
So build a fort and either watch some Halloween movies in your living room or read some Halloween stories. Exactly. Or share some ghost stories. we used to watch X-Files in our fort. And X-Files would have an episode air every Halloween. So, yeah.
Yeah, options like that.
There are lots of options.
And
those usually don't cost you anything because you're just taking stuff at home.
Yeah, kind of thing,
I mean, you could rent a movie that can cost you something.
Yeah, it's minimal cost versus buying,
There's so many services now, like
$100.
I don't know about Peacock, but Pluto TV and Tubi are both free services. They don't cost you anything, and they have pretty good selection.
YouTube.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to find. So.
Markiplier places like, horror game. Just look up horror games so you can see somebody play some horror games kind of thing and whatnot.
Yeah, we recommend, or I guess I should say, I recommend Markiplier because that's the only one I've ever watched play games, but...
He doesn't need our suggestions to go out there. He gets plenty of audience, but we do enjoy his videos.
That's usually if I'm watching someone play games, it's Markiplier playing it.
Or you should push Chelsea to play her games and have her reactions happen.
Oh, man. I do still need to finish Bendy.
She started playing Bendy. She got like 2 chapters in.
And now the Dark Revival's out.
And who is it? We get more. I'm still trying to get to the Resident Evils. Just so Chelsea can see the story.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yep. Fun times.
And whatnot.
So that's all of our suggestions.
Yeah.
Which I think we got more of. And if you guys were piqued, your curiosity was piqued by this topic, I did have a discussion on Instagram. And I'll even link to it in the show notes. Me discussing with, it was 3 other Halloween creators. Hild from Shenanigans Emotions, Steaming Kittens on Instagram. The Halloween Collector, who's also a Vintage Halloween on YouTube. Halloween Collector on Instagram. I'm going back and forth. And then Cromwell Witch, which is both on Instagram and YouTube. We all discussed Halloween consumerism and kind of had a similar topic to this.
Yeah. And
a little less rambly, a little more formatted because we only had an hour.
Yeah. And once again,
they had some really great suggestions for alternatives.
We're not saying don't buy things. Like, by all means, if that's what you want to do, that's what makes you happy. You have the budget for it. You have the means to it. Buy away.
But I think we've all been feeling that kind of push to lean away because now it's really starting to get almost to the point of Christmas of they're just pushing you to buy. Yes. And that's your only, it makes it feel like that's your only value in the community is how much you're buying, which isn't the case. And honestly, I've been loving it. One of the creators I follow on Instagram called Notebook of Ghosts, she's been doing these different series of little tips of $3 or less items you can buy for Halloween for fun and or other things you can do, or when you think of Halloween, what is this feeling you have? And people would share their feelings and she would share their responses. So it's been really, really fun to follow along on that and kind of get my serotonin that way over okay, we haven't checked out Home Goods this week. What are we missing out on? But
also, if you want something more unique that Spirit doesn't have, or Target doesn't have, or the big box stores don't have.
Yes.
There's plenty of small creators out there.
So many. We have featured a lot. We have them all over our bar, all over. They used to be.
Afterlight Comics, who does her crypto decks.
Yes.
Which we recently got our new crypto deck.
They also have comic books.
Yes, they have comic books.
That are cryptid based.
Kind of things and whatnot.
Carrie Hudson Art does these wonderful tiki, Hello Tiki style art pieces, as well as a lot of spooky pins. Drew Roche has been doing these really fun art print series. He usually comes out with a t-shirt.
Among many others. If you follow Chelsea along, DJ Nights, that's a really cool. They have fantastic art pieces.
Yeah.
And whatnot. There's a lot out there. You follow Chelsea along. She shares a lot of, small creators out there to buy things, from not just decorations, some sell jewelry, some sell, custom pieces and whatnot. They're out there, kind of thing, and you can get something more unique, more special to you, kind of thing, in that aspect.
Because I wanted to bring that up at the beginning, but I totally forgot.
Oh, and now it's here.
And now here we are at the end.
The end kind of thing.
Did we ramble enough for you guys?
Ramble enough. And whatnot. But yeah, so
Rambling.
enjoy your Halloween how you want to enjoy it. Like, if you guys follow us along, we do post our creators a lot and stuff in that. And most likely will be just does our Halloween countdown, which is going to do this year. Keep an eye out for that. You will see some of our stuff there, and she will shout them out as well, kind of thing.
I try to.
Kind of thing. You know, if you look at our past episodes, we have shout out different people. You know, Hollywood's for their glasses, kind of thing.
The glasses, and yeah, we talked about Hollywood's
calendar and whatnot. And so yeah, there's options out there for you guys, kind of thing. But yeah, but enjoy Halloween. You know, don't let the idea that you cannot buy.
Just because you can't afford to go out shopping means you can't celebrate it.
Yeah.
You can, and there's lots of ways to do that.
It's not even you can't go out shopping. It's like maybe you just like you don't have the space to buy those things. Kind of thing. Like you can't put a tofu skeleton in your apartment because you don't have space for it.
I mean, that's still not being able to go out and shop.
It
doesn't involve the budget, in my opinion. I feel like because you can go out and window shop, but that's not shopping.
No. Yes.
So, but if you're feeling like you aren't, which is just, this is funny because I was having this thought earlier this week, or was it today actually? I did my live today, huh? Yeah, so it was earlier today. Just one of the things that I love so much about being a part of the Halloween community is that it really doesn't matter what it is you're choosing to focus on in the community. You are always welcome to be a part of it. Whether you are wanting to be an artist, just someone who is a audience member enjoying it and sharing in that mutual love of Halloween, whether you are someone who likes to do a little bit of everything like me, or you are YouTube extraordinaire, or you are singing up all the spooks to get us through the night.
Ooh, that's the one thing we didn't mention.
Oh.
Karaoke, your own spooky songs.
Oh, yeah.
Or spooky songs you know.
Karaoke,
sure, whatever. You know, you all have those jingles that you love. Not just Monster Mash. Kind of thing. But yeah, you know, enjoy Halloween. Don't let the idea that you can't do it like everybody else make it feel like you can't enjoy Halloween. Try to enjoy the best you can. Try to enjoy with the ones that you can, kind of thing.
Find the way that makes it enjoyable for you,
kind of thing. You know, and you know the after things. You know, I grew up with Halloween as a trick or treating event only. It wasn't much behind that. Chelsea was much more of a
we were the party central party
she was a whole production, and so when we came together enjoying Halloween was, you know, a compromise in the middle. Kind of thing. You know, when we do certain things, you know, we try to find food, we try to decorate, we try to do events. Kind of thing,
I mean, yeah, I'd love to get back to hosting at some point.
Eventually. Once you pick up all that mess.
Thanks for the reminder. Now I'm gonna be up all night.
I'm kidding. But you know, it's like, you know, that's what we're trying to get at. You know, it holidays. You know, just
maybe it's the decorating for you. Maybe it's your playlist or your watch list. It doesn't always have to be about what's in your shopping cart.
Yes, exactly. Having to buy things that should not make or break your experience, kind of thing. And that can be taken for any holiday, not just Halloween, kind of thing. Enjoy your holidays how you want to. Enjoy Halloween how best fits to you, kind of thing. And worry about you. What makes you happy.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because otherwise you can't make anybody else happy. Trust me. I've tried.
Yeah. So on that note, I think that was kind of a good place to wrap it up. Yep. I know this was a little at odds of an episode for us. Usually we have a story, but it's just been feeling like a discussion that's been needing to be had in just all the different outlets.
You know, I'm sure it's going to pop up more and more as it gets closer because, you know, Chelsea
and I've been seeing so many people just feeling that, wanting to embrace something else. Yeah.
You know, Chelsea talked about it in her live with her friends, kind of thing. You know, I know we've discussed it quite a bit ourselves, just not only as, you know, this podcast creators, but also as parents, also as people who want to enjoy the season. How do we enjoy this without having to just have a black card.
Right.
Kind of thing. You know, but yeah, so try and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's some of it. So with that, let's wrap it up.
Wrapping
any
it
questions
up.
beyond the-
It's the last call.
Do you have any questions from beyond?
I feel like I did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had one. But now I don't know.
Well, I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Besides Winchester,
Uh-huh.
what are you most looking forward to do? How are you looking more to celebrate Halloween?
I get what you're trying to say. You're trying to ask me, what am I looking forward to most this Halloween?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Words on the wall.
Honestly, I'm really excited to decorate a new space.
Okay,
That's very exciting for me.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'd love to decorate for all the holidays, or I should say for the big holidays. I'd love to be able to decorate for the other ones as well, and I'm slowly building that up. But it's a slow build. So decorating, it just brings me this sense of joy that I get to just kind of sit and vibe with it. That you can't always get everywhere else, because sometimes like you build up your expectations too much or this or that, and it's like, you know, we might not even make it to Winchester this October.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very low expectations. I'm almost like, maybe we skip Winchester on the 13th, go to the Terror Vault.
We might have a babysitter still. Or we'll have a babysitter.
But you know what?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Peaches Price might see you.
Yeah, I love decorating, and it's always fun. I'm the person who loves changing around the arrangement of a room. So decorating is like my outlet to be able to do that without having to rearrange the room. But in a way I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really excited about that. How about you? I know you like don't really get too excited about the holidays.
I mean,
You're like, yeah, whatever.
It is what it is. Like, I'm excited for the kids. I'm excited for them to get to enjoy it. I'm excited for Colin to be not older and get to enjoy it.
I'm excited to build the 12-foot skeleton for him to be excited.
Yeah, I have to little yard work for that. But I mean, I'm just excited to see what tweets come out.
Yeah.
That I get to enjoy, kind of thing. But anyway, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Are we ready?
are we ready to finish this bad boy up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, batteries are dying. Thanks for sipping along with us. We want to keep those spirits flowing, so please be sure to show your support by reviewing and subscribing to our podcast. If you enjoy the show, be sure to share with others.
Indeed. And if you want to find us one way or another, we are available on all podcast hosts or on YouTube. So if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can do that.
See me like jiggle around because I can't stand straight.
Otherwise, you can always find all the information you need about us, our podcast, and where to watch and listen on our website, sipsandspirits.com. We also tend to hang out on Instagram as our social media of choice, but we are on all social media at Sips and Spirits.
You reach us out on any of them, we'll respond back eventually.
Yeah, and if you don't feel like social media, that's okay. You can check out our newsletter via sipsandspirits.com/happy hour. Sign up, get notified any week we don't have an episode being released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
with that, we ready to close our tab?
Yes, we are.
All right, babe. Cheers, and cheers to spooky season.
Spooky season. Yay.
Kicking it up.